In this tutorial, we'll take a look at an example of an Infigo product which has been configured utilizing the Connect printIQ custom quoting capabilities. We will see that the product has several attributes configured, which in turn have slightly altered mappings to attributes and operations in the linked printIQ system. This ensures that the correct quote is returned from printIQ when requested from Infigo, as the chosen specifications of the product have been utilized to actually create the quote. So let's start off with looking at our product. So our product is a simple multi-part product within Infigo. Several attributes have been created and assigned to the product, giving the end user the ability to select between a few different sizes, a few different materials, and some embellishments. Once these selections have been made and a quantity has been input, request price can be used to directly request the price for this specific product configuration from the linked printIQ system. If successful, the returned price will be displayed to the end user. So first of all, let's navigate to the admin side of this product and navigate to our product variant settings. From here, I'm going to click on Connect Link. So this is where we'll define the base specification of the product's mapping to our printIQ system. We can then overwrite parts of this specification as necessary for the different attribute values such as size or material to ensure that we're retrieving a correct quote. You'll see that once we clicked Connect Link, a pop-up appeared allowing us to input these mappings. In this example, that we can see a range of mappings have already been carried out. This includes things such as stock selection, coloring, fold type, and so on. Next, we'll take a look at how the specification varies for the different values of our attributes. So this is things such as the size or materials. So I'm actually going to navigate back to my product variant, but this time I'm going to click on Edit. From here, I'm going to navigate to Attributes and the Attributes tab. And here we can see the attributes that have been assigned to this particular product. This functionality does also work with attribute combinations, however, they're not set up on this particular example. So, we'll begin by taking a look at our size attribute options. So in addition to 3 fixed sizes, this product also contains a custom option, which in turn reveals 2 additional length and width attributes. Going back to the product's admin area, I'm going to navigate to the attribute values of that particular attribute. So size and edit values. You'll see that each of the options we have within that attribute has their own Connect Link option, which I can select. So I've selected one of the fixed size options. That's again opened up our pop-up window. And we can see if I scroll down that the majority of options are using the inherited option. And this is meaning that their value is taken from the higher level specification that we saw earlier. Additional information on this inherited option can be found in the note at the top of the screen. However, we can see in this particular example that the finished size has been mapped to a different specific value. This will ensure that the correct product specifications are used to quote if this value is selected within the size attribute by our end user on our Infigo product. Next, we'll take a look at the custom size option. This one's slightly different. Just as a reminder, this is where we get those 2 additional attributes appearing for width and length. We can see this time that our finished size is not being amended from the base specification. And this is because we wish for the specification to now be altered by those 2 additional attributes. that have become available to our end users when custom is selected. So the custom option is purely being used to control those length and width attributes. It's the length and width attributes themselves that are going to modify the specification and the mapping to printIQ. If I navigate back to those, so my attributes, I can see my length and width attributes here. Go to the connect link options, and you can see here once again that whilst most of the options are using the inherited values from the higher level specification, we are instead using a custom finishing size. And then that custom finishing size reveals two additional options. And for the depth, which is the one that we've chosen, we're using the actual attribute value. So whatever the customer has actually typed within that attribute box. Next, we'll take a look at the material selection. This again is giving us the option to select between 4 static values. So again, it's quite easy to configure. Going back to our products admin area, I'm going to go to the relevant attribute and then go on edit values. Once again, each one of these options has a connect link. And as we saw with the sizing, most of these options are going to still be using inherit. So we're still going to use the base specification. However, we can see in this case that the selection of this particular attribute value will result in a particular selection of stock. And then finally, we'll take a look at our embellishments. So whilst this is visually different on our actual product, our embellishment attributes is still working in a very similar way. So what we have here is 3 static values that we can choose between. And based on the static value we select, it's going to modify the specification ever so slightly to printIQ. So same process, I'm going to go to my attributes, go to embellishments, which is the relevant attribute, and go on the connect link option for one of those attribute values. Once again, we can see that most are inherited. However, in this example, we can see that an additional section operation has been specified to map the embossing. Now, the embossed block value that's been specified here is again drawn from the printIQ instance that links it to this storefront. So it's not actually something that we've got specified within Infigo. It is just a mapping that we're getting from the linked printIQ instance. And that is basically it. So that's a simple example of mapping a product between Infigo and printIQ using the custom quoting functionality. You can see that it is fairly simple to set up. There's just a little bit of legwork to make sure that based on the selections that we've made on our Infigo product landing page, we get the necessary feedback and correct quotations from our printIQ system.